What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the fourth time this week. Ugh.
World record.
Hey, you have the Bachelor to thank for that. We weren't expecting them to drop 2 episodes this week. We weren't planning on doing this, but since we've been dedicated this season to recapping it, we didn't have it in us to try to recap 4 hours next week with Lauren Lapkus, which, by the way, tune in for that.
Gosh. Yeah, I was like, we don't need to do another one. Nick's like, we have to do it. There's so much to get through.
I'm like, yeah, we just skip it. And then what really sealed the deal is our friend, Mina Kimes, who we've had on before, said she was available to break it down. And I was like, all right, well then fuck it, let's do it, because she's so good at this. I mean, she works for ESPN, and she is an analytical person, and her job is to break down sports. And all The Bachelor is a sporting event.
Exactly.
This has been probably my favorite recap that we've had so far.
Oh, really? More than January?
January was fantastic. Don't want to take any away from Jan. You know?
Jan.
I call her Jan, you know? But yeah, I mean, different. But I thought Mina was great, and so much sloppiness this episode. We really needed a voice of reason to help us keep it on track. So Mina does that.
Just a reminder, we're talking about the characters. It's not an attack on anyone's personality or anyone personally.
I thought we were generally pretty kind.
Yeah, I just like to say that at the beginning.
Yeah, if anyone's listening who's on the show, we don't know you.
Yeah.
I look forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah. I'm sure you're wonderful.
As a collective group, you all kind of suck. But hey.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe there's something in the water in Chile. Anyways, we'll keep it pretty brief because this is kind of an impromptu episode. We don't have too many friends of shows to share with you, but a little time to remind you that's always a good time to restock on your essential oils. If you are looking to scent your indoor air, stay away from those Glade air fresheners or Febrezes. Those are chemicals. Those are toxic to you and your family. Get wonderful essential oils that are USDA organic certified, that have medicinal benefits like helping you calm and relax at night, help reduce headaches, help prevent them, boost your immune system, as well as give you energy and focus. Try us out, Natural Habits Essential Oils. You can find us at nhoils.com. We will do 30% off. We haven't done a sale this large this year. It's a great time to stock up on Valentine's Day. Not necessarily for the guy in your life, although it's great for men, but get it for yourself. If you don't have a Valentine in your life, just have some essential oils going. Treat yourself. Just relax. When you have this anxiety built up because you don't have a date, just rub some release all over your body and have a nice calming effect. Smells great. Anyways, nhoils.com, 30% off. Code NATURAL. We'll keep it real simple. Code NATURAL, 30% off. And without further ado, Mina Kimes. Mina, thanks so much for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me back.
I think you were really made for these.
I love the show. What can I say?
It's for those of you, Mina is, as we know, she's been on this show before. She is a very successful rising star over at ESPN, an expert in breaking down all things sports and Bachelor.
Listen,
we're happy to have her.
I can talk about football anywhere. There's only one place, really. Well, actually, don't tell Juliet Lemon, but this is my passion.
I know.
This is truly what I was put on earth
and
to
I
do.
felt like this. You're the perfect person to have on this episode. It's 5 hours this week.
Woof.
This is our 4th episode of the Viall Files this week. I'm a little lost in what's all going down, and I know you've already taken notes. I know you're very detailed. You're really going to help us break down because, I needed someone with your attention to detail.
She literally just got back from the Super Bowl, and she took time to take a page of notes on this episode.
She did, so it's very thoughtful. We're very happy. I know our audience is very thrilled to have you. Before we get into this episode, give us your quick thoughts on the season so far, on Peter is the Bachelor, and any other news in Bachelor Nation.
Well, when I walked in, I said to you, I really, really, really don't want to come across as a hater, but it's really, really, really hard with this season. And I want to give people context. I have watched like almost every
More
season.
than I have.
So my tolerance is high, right? Like I have built up a strong, strong tolerance to, bad seasons, bad contestants, bad bachelors and bachelorettes. But this is, I feel tested by this, especially this week, I think.
It's, as I suggested in our last episode, and we will get into it, it's become influencer boot camp.
It's influencer boot camp. It's, I think, the Mean Girls Club.
Mean Girls Club,
it's
for sure.
giving me PTSD to high school and pretty much every episode.
Like everything's heightened, and I've said before, it is. It's the Bachelor world has always been a high school element, even if it's not petty, just because of the isolation and like it reduces your kind of your simplest insecurities, which we haven't felt that insecure since high school. But this is just next level. It's Bachelor on steroids.
They're just so mean. And I would love to get your take on this, because last time we chatted, we sort of had that meta level conversation about the influencer thing and like, why are people on the show now? What do they get out of it? Like, when I watch it, I'm trying to understand, how did this happen? How do we get so many girls screaming at each other all the time and being awful to each other? Typically, I think, just because they don't like each other, which is a thing that happens to adults in the world, but usually it doesn't turn into what this is devolved into. What I want to know what you think, is it because of age? I want it, because this is a very, very young season. And I don't think all the young, what's her name? Madison's like 22. She's fine, right? Like, it's not, everyone's not, like, immaturity is not always tied to age. I'll just say that. But
correct.
Undeniably very young season.
I keep bringing this up, but I can't help but, and I know she's probably mad at me for reminding America every episode, but she is also like running fake accounts on her Instagram and denying.
Oh, the genuine and real. Yeah.
And again, like I appreciate, I sympathize.
Hilarious.
I sympathize with her because but she is no more genuine and real than any of these other women. It's just she's just showing it in a different way. And I will say, to her credit, is not mean.
That's what I mean.
And kind. And she seems to like have a good moral compass.
Yes.
I'll say that.
So, but the meanness, I want to know, do you think it's because of age? Do you think they just did a terrible job, or maybe a deliberate job, of casting these women? Or do you think it has anything to do with the fact that perhaps many of them are here for a, because that it's rewarded on the show to cause drama?
I think it's probably, if I had to guess, a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Right. I think the age, it doesn't help that it's gotten younger. Right. And they've had 22 and 23-year-olds before. It's just, the median or mean, I don't know which one it is, that has lowered, right? And so the average age, it's gotten lower. Like if the average age was 25.2 years, now the average age is probably 24, and that's a significant drop. I think with social media, more and more every season, it becomes harder and harder for anyone to come on with this truly genuine purpose, and it actually makes you less genuine to pretend that you're not there,
right, for
the additional ancillary benefits that come with open to being loved. And the more they fake it and the more they pretend it's not there, the more insincere they are. And then I do think there's an element of, not to shit on the pageant world or that part of the country, but I don't think the pageant community, I think it can be rooted in competitiveness and cattiness. Yeah. And you've had all these seasons where there's not a lot, like, these women know each other. I didn't even realize this, but Sydney and Hannah Brown graduated in the same high school class. Hannah Ann, from what I hear, is friends with Hannah Godwin from last season. Like, they're casting from this pretty select group, which is, I'm sure there's probably plenty of documentaries and stuff out there about the pageant world, and I'm sure they're lovely people, but there can be some nasty elements and competitiveness and cattiness, and I think that's as well bringing things to the fold.
I just don't want to watch it. I think watching this week, there's still some entertaining moments, and look, I'm obviously gonna watch it, but I was struck by how much it reminded me of like another reality show. Like, it doesn't feel
like a VH1 show.
Yeah, or like I don't know, just something trashier. If that makes sense.
No, it has. And I don't know. I got to assume, ABC and Warner Brothers are constantly having conversations, as they always are, about the direction of where they want the franchise to go. And, I think, and I've said this before, I think it was smart from a business model standpoint to skew younger, bring in a new audience, especially, you have to keep getting younger. You got to attract a new audience. I'd be willing to bet that a significant portion of the people watching Bachelor today are a new audience, and that's good because people do they kind of burn out regardless.
Yeah.
And so to keep it popular, I do think going forward they're going to want to go back up a little bit. They're going to have to bring back the sincerity of the show.
I feel like in the NFL sometimes when you go from one coach to another, they always hire the opposite. Like if you got the old traditional coach, the next one is like the young analytics, handsome looking coach. You saw that with your Green Bay Packers going in a different direction. And I kind of feel like this show never recovered from Rachel's season not getting great ratings in some way. Or not never recovered, but
In what way do you think?
I feel like just ever since they've sort of started going younger and younger and leaning into I don't know. I just kind of...
Almost like they had Rachel, they broke down glass ceilings with Rachel. The ratings didn't translate, and they almost panicked to just kind of going with what they think works.
I think they've seen like, okay, here's Paradise. We've got some of these younger people. I don't know. I have no idea.
I heard it's like they called it the Demi effect, where Demi was kind of like obnoxious last season and funny and like irreverent and said crazy stuff. So all the girls saw that, and so they're trying to be the next Demi.
I mean, I love Demi, and I think she's great and a good human. But even to not to take anything from Demi, that Corinne was the first person to be like that.
But the thing from an entertainment...
And the fact that she was considered maybe an early villain, but like truly a fan favorite by the end of it all, and one of the most popular, but she was not a traditional character.
I only want to watch one Corinne. Like it was entertaining because she was around people who had like, difference.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch 6 or 7 of those people.
Yeah,
Correct.
like that's why Demi was fun to watch. She was the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
And Demi and Corinne, those are who those people are. It comes naturally to both of them to be that way. When you try to be a certain way, it doesn't read as authentic. It reads as anything but like bitchy, mean, catty, all of the above. Because especially Demi, she actually has a really kind heart. She's a really... even when she tweets or comments, she's very protective of the people in the show, and she's a very kind person.
She's also clever, which is something that I think has been a little bit
lacking
missing this
on the
season.
show.
So, anyways, I'm still gonna watch. There's still there's still women I like. I want to throw that out there. I don't hate them all. I just hate a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. The only thing I'd say different is I don't hate any of them individually as humans, and also
hate watching.
But as a group,
yes,
I hate the group.
That's totally fair,
right? Like, and also who knows how they are in real life?
Yeah,
but they do not bring out the best in each other.
Yeah, I think it's always important with the show when we talk about it to make it clear we're talking about television characters.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because we're only seeing a tiny fraction of them, and I hate the portrayal of this person.
Yes.
So Victoria P., if you're listening, don't take any offense.
Exactly.
We're sorry.
Woof.
So we kick off this episode. Where do we kick it off? Mina, I forget.
They're in the Andes Mountains. They're in Chile.
They're in Chile.
Peter tells everyone about the Andes Mountains. I always wanted to ask, because you would know this since it's my rare opportunity. Do they give you like a list of 4 facts to recite about the, like, how does that go down?
Get notes going
Okay.
in.
And then you choose kind of what you find interesting to say to the...
Yeah, there's some talking points and some information to... and sometimes, like a lot of all these destinations are based off of relationships they have with the local tourism boards. And so that's...
Right.
And so, Peter's in charge of delivering those notes, always letting you know what hotel they're staying at and why it's perfect for falling in love. And then, the tourism board will, let you know why should people visit Chile
or Cleveland. So it starts off with, I think McKenna's crying, as she is wont to do, apparently. And Victoria F said something to her that I found very
Oh, that's
great, which she was like, if he liked you, he would find a way to spend time with you, which coming through with the realism.
She a little mean when she said it, but yes, I do appreciate it every season where it's just like, hey, he doesn't like me.
Yeah, right. At this point, like, do you think, okay, if you're in week 6 or whatever and you haven't gotten the 101, do you know that? Or are you just, because I think like someone like Tammy knows he doesn't like her and she's just kind of, there to stir.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Tammy, not to fast forward, was told Peter right before he sent her home was, I know this is meant to be.
Yeah.
I will say as a whole, this group seems to be, again, I don't know if they're just good at playing the game or they're just convincing themselves. Everyone just believes that like they have a fighting shot. Where like I think other seasons, even the way it's aired, like so-and-so's like, yeah, she's just waiting to go home.
Yeah.
And Kelly is the only one with any sense of reality, like poise, perspective. And
I think that woman, Natasha, also is just kind of there for the trip. I'm kind of getting that vibe.
Yeah.
And uncoincidentally, those are like the 2 oldest women, right? I mean,
yeah, Natasha's 31 and Kelly's what, 27, 28?
Ancient. So anyways,
senior citizens.
Hannah Ann gets the date.
Hannah Ann, yes. Which I've decided so far, she's my front runner. I think she's gonna win.
You think she's gonna win?
I think she's gonna win because we saw a lot of Hannah Ann early on. She got the first impression rose, did she not?
She did, yes.
For a hot second, we thought she was the villain.
Yeah.
And then disappeared.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we didn't see a lot of Hannah Ann.
And that's what they like to do with the winner?
Not necessarily. Well,
there's been some examples of that.
There's been examples of that. If the lead is really into one and they have a couple other options, they like to have the lead hold off for fear of falling in love too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And not always. I mean, Vanessa had a very early one-on-one with me. So that's not always the case. But it makes me believe, and I think it has less to do with the timing of her date and more to do with the fact that we saw a lot of her and then she disappeared, and now I think they're ready to focus more on Hannah Ann, and a lot of this relationship was kind of questioning if it was going to work. I don't know. That's just my guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's like her, Madison, Victoria for the 3 he seems the most into to me.
Yeah. Kelly's 27, guys, just in case
woof.
You're worried.
Ancient.
Yeah.
But would they have set Hannah Ann up to be the champagne stealer if they thought she was going to win this whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, they don't know.
But don't they kind of know?
No, it's literally 10 minutes in.
Also, I think she got a pretty generous edit on. Like any human being with the 2 brain cells, was not angry at her watching that.
Right.
She got a pretty.
Also, the winner isn't the most protected.
Oh.
They're protected,
but sometimes
they're not the most protected.
I mean, who could forget Courtney?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, right. I take it back.
But yeah, to Mina's point, she wasn't really the bad person.
And since then she's gotten a very good at it. She's always outside the fray.
And to her credit, seems like she
seems to have zero interest in being involved.
She's kept away from
the worst thing that's happened to her is saying Finasco. Honestly,
which is honestly whatever.
You have no room.
I have no room. I make up words all the time.
Also, everyone's been writing in there. You keep saying 2 drink minimum instead of 2 drink maximum.
Yeah, you have to have at least 2 drinks. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is
very different season.
It is a 2 drink maximum.
Yeah, what happened to that with Kelsey?
Yeah, how?
Well, people act like a 2 drink maximum you can't get drunk off of if you weigh 105 pounds and haven't eaten all day.
Does that apply to this show? Because I understand Paradise.
My understanding, and I by no means read in on this, is that it's across the board.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Hannah Ann is not the most enthralling television. I will say that.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be.
This was a rough.
Wasn't it bad?
It was. He did question her age, which I thought was interesting because they've never shown him bringing that up with Madison, who's also like
literally her age.
Yeah, same age.
Same age.
There's a massive difference between 22 and 23 or 24. But she's obviously stunning. I don't really have. I mean, what do I know about her beyond?
I'll
that?
say this about Hannah Ann: it is a tough position to be questioned about something you have no control over.
Right. Oh, she had never been in love. That was the other.
And I will say, like, if I'm going to try to give positive thoughts here about Hannah Ann, is that she, because I think she's going to win, so I want to make sure I'm not shitting on Peter's fiance. But no, in all seriousness, she at least was honest, and she didn't try to mince words. She didn't try to oversell it. It was a little cheesy where she threw out this like weird, like
the minnow thing.
The
yes.
minnow thing.
Oh my God,
You know
I
what?
wrote that down.
Okay, I want to talk about that.
I wrote it down exactly.
I don't want to be. Most people swim in the shallows. I don't want to be with the minnows. I want
She
to go
had
deep.
that like lined up and
Yes.
just tried to
Only catch
figure out where she
minnows.
could fit it in.
You know what though? When I was watching that, then I was really. I was like, oh, this is like the pageant-y thing. I don't know if she's even done pageants.
I don't know if she had.
But this is someone who clearly, is very, very careful about what she says. I'm trying to give this a generous interpretation. And you have to be around these people, so you are nice. I don't have to be as nice. I hope she wins because, God, I would not want to watch this Bachelorette season. That would be really a rough watch for me. She seems like a nice person, though. I will say
And what
that.
do you mean by that?
The first or the second thing?
The second part. You hope she wins because it'd be a tough watch.
I don't like watching her talk. I was like, this is not interesting television to
But
me.
remember, Hannah Brown was like that in the beginning, and then she kind of.
But she wasn't like this, where she was just kind of. She wasn't boring. She was just messed up.
Yeah, Hannah was messy.
She was discombobulated
Yeah.
the whole time. This would be very dull. I just feel that way strongly.
Oh, in terms of like her potential to be the next best.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I
don't-
have no interest. This is gonna be a rough pick, by the way. From this,
I don't think they have a
group.
pick here.
They got to go outside the pool.
Yeah.
for the Bachelorette.
And
Yeah.
you got some ideas?
We can finish with that.
Okay.
What do you, I feel weird bringing this up, but she's been open about getting a boob job, Hannah Ann. I just
Okay.
find that interesting.
Good for her.
Yeah, good
I mean,
for
if you're
her.
gonna do it,
Yeah.
and I actually, you know what? Great. That's great for her.
The honesty is great.
Yeah, that's true.
And I will say, I mean, she's very safe. I do think that's very a common theme especially for that part of the country in terms of etiquette and
Yes.
properness. And if she has any pageant experience, which honestly, it seems like that's what you'd like do in high school there. Like
yeah,
even
it does
like
seem like it.
it's like a thing. I don't. It seems almost
Wow.
weird.
When
like,
I was in high school, I did academic decathlon.
right or
It's
like
a very different life.
like yeah. So but there is I actually believe when Peter's like she's the goofiest one in the house. I actually believe that's true. She seems to have a playful side. They've shown a little bit. I actually quite liked her snarkiness early in the season. She had some fire to her and some bite.
I can tell by watching her interact with the women that they like her.
Yeah.
That's always something I look for. The other thing is, and this is something I've learned from watching the show for a long time, it's not about who's right for me. It's about who's right for Peter.
Yeah.
She seems like a good match for Peter.
Yeah.
Who also, I mean, what I just said about her and, I'm
Like a Lauren Ari situation.
yeah, like they should have been together all along,
They're
right?
great together.
I think there's a match there, but it was not riveting. That's all I'll say.
It wasn't riveting. I got it like this episode. Why is everyone leaving in the middle of a date? Just get up, leave.
Oh, he got up and walked out. Yeah, right.
And then Hannah Ann comes in crying. Peter's like, "Hey, what's up? What's wrong?" She's like, "You left me."
Yeah,
And I don't know if there was.
awkward.
I mean, he clearly excused himself. I don't know if he was thinking, or maybe he went to the bathroom and did like an ITM, and they just like deliberately left her. I don't know what's going on, but.
Now that I think about it, it kind of reminds me of when Ari left his date with Lauren. I think perhaps the same frustration there, which is like he really wanted it to be her, and I think maybe Peter is having the same experience, and then it stressed him out that it wasn't going perfectly.
I mean, like, listen, there's a physical attraction there. She is a total babe. She is younger. If Peter really likes her, and he's hoping, there is an element of The Bachelor of you have. Listen, let's be honest. There's an immediate physical attraction. You don't know. There's obviously physical chemistry, and then you hope that person has the other qualities that you're looking for because you have that initial attraction. You're not basing your decision off a ton of information. So you're just like, hoping to get what you hope, right? And so I can see that there with Peter. All right, so Hannah, Ann, and Peter, he finally gives her the rose.
Because she cries.
Because she cries. We're of the belief until we have Peter on and find out what his love language actually is, that his love language is tears.
Well, I was watching, not this episode, but the previous one with my husband. He said, Peter's like Lenny, who's our dog. Like if Lenny was the Bachelor, which is basically anyone who brings him food would get a rose, right? And he's so easy to manipulate, which is not very nice, but I think
Peter's a sweet guy, but like his biggest fault is he is too earnest. It's like, we want you to believe in the process. You are the Bachelor. You can't be the Bachelor without like giving this structure its fair shot. But he's almost bought in too much. Like he's fully drinking the Kool-Aid where, he's all these women. He's like, I believe in this. This is serious, and I need you to as well. And it all comes from a place of sincerity. But to that point, he's become he's confused himself.
I feel like Kelly was trying to get him outside of that a little bit to be like, hey, let's have a normal conversation where we talk about how weird this is and whatever. And he just was not.
His reaction to Kelly seemed off to me, where I would have been very into that.
Right. You'd be like, oh, cool. Let's talk normal.
Oh my God. Yes. It does, like, that's where Peter and I are definitely different, where he doesn't want to acknowledge this isn't normal.
Yeah.
Where it was, I think my opening speech to the women was, let's not pretend this isn't super fucking weird. But within that,
you said that.
Oh yeah. I mean, they actually even aired that too. I was really glad that they did. I said something like, this is what it is, but within this, we can still make it work. But let's not pretend this is a very unrealistic thing. But Peter's fully in, and Kelly is just running out of time because she's too realistic about it. And Peter, and again, Peter is earnest. He's afraid of it's not working out, and that is always. I think every lead handles it differently. It's all, like they're just afraid,
Fear driven, yeah.
Peter wants this to work, and that is sincere, and this is how he's reacting.
Do you think she likes him? We chatted about this. I know this is not although she was very funny, I thought, in the telenovela.
I know, and they kept her as the grandma.
She was cracking me up.
She was great.
But do you think that was they were trying to be like, she's the old one of the group?
She
of course
said incest is best.
Yeah.
I actually laughed. It was a rare ray of sunshine in this episode.
I think she is realizing that she is so out of, this is not her element. She realized that she can't do this, and I think she's accepted that she's not going to win solely based off of that. I think maybe her and Peter in the real world actually probably had a real shot because there clearly was real chemistry between those two. But
yeah, there was a little more in chemistry.
I think she's slowly getting over it. Yeah.
She's just kind of down for the ride now. Which I feel like she kept trying to say, like, yeah, it's cool. I'm just like...
no, she literally said, I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
But I think I had experiences like this when I was younger where I would maybe like date a guy kind of briefly and then, there's like an attraction or whatever. And then you realize, we have nothing. We got nothing here. Yeah, this is just fun.
I think that's where Kelly probably is. But she's there and she is trying in her way. And again, that's just I've always resented the fact that like sometimes the show will punish the people who try to act like it's not normal.
Yeah.
They've done a better job of that. But again, Peter is the earnest Bachelor, and he's kind of dictated the theme, and the theme is you need to act like this is normal.
Yeah.
And
she's got no shot at Bachelorette, right?
No, and we don't want, for the same reason we don't want her. No, we don't, because she'd be too. Yeah, wouldn't buy in at all. You need someone to buy it and go with it. Maybe not as much as Peter, but she is low energy. And that's fine and great in life. And I really think low energy is an attractive trait, but I don't know if that makes a great Bachelorette.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Yeah.
She's going to be like telling the story of this one time she went on this Bachelorette show. Like, I feel like,
she's going to have like a normal husband at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think she has any shot. I don't think she would make a great Bachelorette. And that is in no way a criticism of Kelly.
I love it.
That's fair.
So yeah, we get to the Telemundo group date, which great date, a lot of fun.
Super
Also
fun.
wrapping up the influencer boot camp tour. We've done the runway show. We've done the photo shoot.
Yeah.
We've now in case they want to maybe do some acting.
That's a great point.
We're getting lessons there.
I loved it.
Again, I think it's great. In all fairness, I think it's fun that the show is doing this. I think they can do this without getting I don't think that's why this season has become what it is.
That stuff's fine.
That they're leaning into the types of group dates that they're having.
This was one of my favorite group dates.
Oh, I loved it.
It was a lot of fun. I thought it was great.
Bought into it. I thought we talked about Kelly was hilarious.
So funny.
Peter seemed to really enjoy it.
I'm also, I gotta say, props to Peter. I can't speak any other language. I think it's hot that Peter speaks Spanish as well as he does.
Is it that well?
He speaks it okay.
Yeah, it's like beginner.
I mean, as someone who someone who barely speaks English,
Yeah.
I think it's cool that he can talk.
Yeah, I think it's cool that he's proud of his heritage.
Yeah,
and seems
I mean,
to bring it up.
Listen, I think it's neat. I like that they're doing it.
It was a fun date. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Nobody was stupid or annoying about being that really endeared me to Kelly, how chill she was about looking like that, because we've seen many examples of dates in the past where women have lost their minds about not getting to be the sexy character, and she was super chill and funny about it.
Yeah.
But the rest of them seemed pretty cool there was no drama associated with the date.
Yeah.
What's so funny about that watching
Well,
it,
except his opening line was, "Let's see how much drama we can make."
Oh,
I was like, "There's already so much."
I mean, it's like America needed it. You know, we all, as a fan base and the women, like, we all just needed to have fun. And everyone just needed to chill out, be like, oh my God, thank you.
short-lived, but yes.
Short-lived, because then we go to the cocktail party, and Tammy's just on one at this point.
I think she's spiraling.
Yeah.
I think Tammy is the classic, probably super chill and fun in real life. We saw that at the beginning of the show. Down girl, who most of the dramas on this show, or I think generally, are just people not liking each other. They're not actually like about lies, or it's like you're in a situation, you have to live with someone and they're annoying.
It's all it is the fear of being the target.
Yes.
And as long as you're not the target, you're happy. And if you smell blood, you attack.
For certain kinds of people. And I think she's around, it was Kelsey and now it's McKenna. And like, look, she seems annoying. I'm just going to say McKenna. Like, she seems like a very challenging human being to be around. Some of the speeches I really hope you wrote down some of the stuff she said in this episode.
In Tammy's defense, I think that was all rehearsed.
Yes. Oh, I found my voice and I learned to love and the shit she said at the end. I hope you wrote that. I was crying.
I am certain that she was like, I can do that again. Do you guys need me to do that again? Did you get that? I can do this again. Did I sound like a strong woman? Okay. Because like I want to make sure that I sounded as strong. Did my strength come through?
I really learned to love myself.
I'm obsessed with myself.
So anyways, that said,
and I will never accept less than what she did.
Tammy was entirely in the wrong. I want to be clear. Like, I'm not siding with her, but I'm trying to put myself in her headspace and think, okay, I'm a normal person with like, a normal life. I'm around this like this very deeply annoying human being. I think she just snapped.
She reminded me of Mugatu from Zoolander when he's like, am I taking crazy pills?
I think that's her. She's just like, what is happening? This is like the sorority from hell that I never signed up for. And she just is spiraling. And she then becomes that which she loathes, like, which is a crazy person.
Petty.
Terrible. And, like,
she
obviously
packed her bags, Peter. And in McKenna's defense, it's very efficient to pack your bags at any moment, because the last thing you want to do is get your ass sent home and then have to pack.
Yeah.
Not a fun experience.
I want to get your opinion on this. I thought it was interesting. She kept mentioning like blonde girls. Like, it seems almost like she mentioned it about McKenna and she mentioned about Kelsey when she was, and I'm like, because I felt that way too, of like kind of not hating them, but like you get jealous, they always get the attention. And
you've seen the show. I mean, you like her.
Yes.
I'm sure she's seen the show. She knows how this script plays out.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an uphill battle for Tammy.
Yes. I'm Asian. Like I mean, Catherine's the farthest, obviously, any Asian person's ever made it. But Kayla, I guess, was top 3. Right? Yeah, she knows the score, right? So I think she probably was just kind of articulating. I mean, also she has no one to talk to about that. Right. Probably. Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak. Maybe she did at some point. That stuff heats up. That we never get to see those conversations on the show, which I think is a mistake. I think it would be really useful and interesting, but I think that it just crept up to the surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I know I'm probably sound overly sympathetic to her because again, she lost her mind.
And it topped off with her saying,
"Oh boy,
my opinion can be true to me," which is surprisingly both incredibly self-aware and at the same time delusional.
And also not even the worst like iteration of that kind of thinking this season.
No, because my truth is...
Everyone's saying my truth. Can we put a ban on the phrase my truth?
Because
you're just lying.
You're just lying.
Well, that probably...
But like she said it so like... Well, she was like thinking about it as she's saying, "Oh, my opinion can." To her defense, it looked like as she said it, she realized how dumb it sounded, but she just went with it.
Too. I think she's just like having a nervous breakdown.
Exactly.
I think she's, and then McKenna ran to Peter to tell him, and I wrote down, "Looks like she's running to Dad." That was how I felt watching her. Like, Dad, she's being mean to me. You know, I know I sound like I'm being really mean to her. I'm sorry. That's not how she sounded. But the whole thing, I was just like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. And then the Victoria P thing happened.
Yeah. So then, for Victoria P, if you want to sit on don't ask to sit on your lap. You're immediately going home.
Is that true?
As a guy,
yeah.
It can happen organically.
If you sit on my lap like a child, as Victoria P did, that's not hot.
It looked awkward. Yeah.
There's a lot of childlike behavior to
right.
cut to what I just said about the kid. There's a lot of these interactions.
There's a subtlety there, but she sat on him like a child. And Peter was clearly like, sure.
Yeah.
What's up? So just want to check in, make sure we're still in love. Yeah, I don't know.
About that.
Yeah, there's always that classic, I need to confront the bachelor or bachelorette and reset. And that's always the optimal time to say, actually, we need to go home.
Did you think that was going to happen?
He
seemed really into her.
He definitely seemed into her. I think it was pretty clear to Peter when the Alea stuff was going down that
something was off.
Was full of shit. In that
moment. So that's what I wanted because I wasn't sure. So I was watching this and I was thinking, she actually brought up Alea too, which was stupid. But when I was watching that, I was like, was he turned off by all that, or is he just not that into her?
I think he was turned off by that situation because if. Not too long. Like I liked it when he was like, I heard. I'm sitting next to her. I heard what she's saying. Like truly confused. And I think my guess is she was never his top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Or more specifically, she was never in his top 2. And she might have been like right around that 3, 4, 5 range. And that happened, and other people. Didn't lie to him.
Yeah, ironically,
I think Peter really values trust, and you can tell he's afraid of this not working out again. And she seemed to be caught in what seemed like a lie, right?
Yeah. You couldn't tell if he was processing that when it happened.
Yeah, and he probably left and probably thought about it and was like,
"Wait a minute,
I don't want to buy this." And
I mean, it's insane. Like, there's no way anyone could watch that and not walk away thinking this woman is lying. Yeah. So I guess it stands that he at some point it registered with him that
and I thought her exit was fine. She handled herself fine. She was a little frustrated and mad, but
really, she like cursed him when she left. Like, be careful.
That's pretty common.
It is.
I mean, it's the classic move of, hey, before I go, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Before I know, just so you know, you're fucked.
Someone else did that to him.
That's a pretty...
Yes, someone else did it. Oh, Tammy.
That's a pretty go-to move. They don't always
They never say what it is.
No, it's always like,
Ominous.
I'm worried for you.
This is why I'm so different from people on the show, because I'd be like, I wrote down a like very detailed list of everything you need to know about all of these women. Here you go. I would never be vague. This is why I always get so angry when
You
they
would
get in
pass a
arguments.
note, like, hey, I know I'm going, but just so you know.
I had this
Be the
pre-planned.
best on the
It's
show.
collated. I always get so frustrated watching them in arguments because they're so bad at arguing always.
Yes,
right? And I would
yes.
be so specific. I'd be like the whole live thing when Alea clearly in the right in this situation. Also, you know, probably a difficult person in some ways. Like, I'm like, you have the case, woman. You have the receipts.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just keep calmly laying them out. And
Yeah.
it never happens that
The
way.
problem with Alea is like, well, she was in the right. There's probably a reason why she
like I said,
got all the
probably
negative
annoying.
attention. Not that it was
She's
deserved.
probably annoying.
Yes.
That's 90% of the time. It's just someone's annoying.
Yeah. So VP goes home. And then then we're back. We're Victoria F. Second one-on-one. And I gotta say, I don't remember the last time someone's got a second one-on-one when so many people still remaining in the house haven't even had one.
Did Lauren beat? No, I feel like there's one.
I'm sure it's happened before,
It's pretty unusual.
but it's pretty unusual. Usually that usually coincides with this like, okay, let's just have a 2-on-1 and send them both home kind of thing. Because it's so obvious.
I don't know if you've picked up on this, but Peter's not very good at managing the situation and managing the feelings of many people at the same time.
No,
I would say this particular, I mean,
but in fairness to Peter, he has one job other than to find love, and that is to allow drama to flourish. And he's doing a fantastic job about that. His job is not to allow it to flourish. His job is to not necessarily stop it. In fact, he's doing an incredible job of actually adding to it by like just being so honest with all the women in front of them.
he is an agent of chaos.
Yes, he 100% is.
He like is Gossip Girl.
Yeah, it's so
It's
good.
Peter.
I think
XOXO gossip.
no, he's killing it.
She like the thing with the Kelsey and the rose. Was that this? That was last week. The Kelsey giving her the rose. Like, was that his idea? That was last week.
I don't
right?
know, but
I'm like, how can you be doing this?
that sometimes I'm just going to say, and I have no idea, but sometimes the Bachelor has to take one for the team, so
Right.
to speak.
Well, he's taken them over and over and over. And the thing where he constantly does, where a woman will go to him and be like, Nick says this. And he's like, yeah, I'm immediately going to go to her. Like, as a journalist, I'm like, don't tell him anything.
Well-
I get off the record agreement first.
I'll say this about Peter, whether it's his idea to give these girls the roses or it's being suggested to him and he's just being a willing participant, he sells the shit out of it. Because
Yes.
even when he gave Kelsey that rose, he's like, I don't care. I want you to have this. You go back right now and show him that rose. You know, like, he just...
if
But we saw with the Puma story. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's like, I gave you this rose and you need to accept it because I need to know that you love me. And you're going to do yourself a favor if you
Right.
start crying. So
he's not only suggestible, he's convincing.
he's
which,
very convincing.
yeah. The Victoria F date was cool. That looked fun. They get the horses and
It's a
the
nice
Chilean
horseback
dinner. And what do you think of her and him?
The
in
day
this date?
she seems to be like, she's always potentially going to lose it. And like,
Yeah.
I like self-awareness. So like, does she look a little sloppy when she walks off and goes to the bathroom? I think they did her a favor by airing her talking to her producer. You don't see the conversation and just being like, I don't know why I do this. I'm like, just acknowledging that she is having a hard time with this atmosphere. And it seemed to be controlled chaos.
Interesting. Yeah. I hope.
Go off.
No, I'm not. I mean, I find her kind of exhausting to watch. Like, she does always seem to be on the precipice of freaking out. But I recognize that I'm seeing 10% of her existence on this show and her actions with them. And we're probably seeing the 10% where she's like, stop. Really? Stop.
Yeah.
No. And it's like, it's a lot of the stop, STAHB.
Oh,
but
it
again,
could be a bit much. Don't get me wrong. I'm
yeah,
not saying,
but I
like,
know that's not obviously like her entire identity. So
I'm just trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Even like with Hannah Ann, like there's in a season full of like a lot of unattractive behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I at least appreciate that she is trying to be.
I thought she was a little over top on Alea on the Chase Rice stuff, though. Where she was like, that was my story. She was mad at her for telling people.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that was exacerbated by like the power dynamic of the situation, Alea getting to be on the internet and stuff. But it wasn't that big of a deal, lady.
I think it's pretty clear Victoria F has a bite.
Yeah.
Like, she's got you don't want to get her crossfire.
He's super into her, by the way.
Yeah, it's like she's hot.
She's hot, but I think, I don't know. I think it's funny, you think Hannah's going to win. I don't know who's going to win. He seems more into Victoria than he is into Hannah to me, based on just his behavior around her.
I will agree based on what we're seeing now.
That's true.
But I guess I see this like a Matrix.
Yeah.
Where
the edit.
I don't, not so much the edit, but yeah, I mean, you're seeing, I think you're seeing too much complication with their relationship.
Interesting.
This early. Like, if this was towards the end, if this was like going on during Hometowns or Fantasy Suite Week, then I would be like, ooh, she might win, because they're introducing some conflict.
Got it. Yeah.
It's way too early.
Interesting.
And while I'm defending Victoria F and like leaving the table, even though it looks a little sloppy, that like Peter needs to feel confident in his decision, and she is struggling too much with this.
Hannah Ann is giving him, she's basically like the perfect, like she was drawn up to please him. She's, and I don't find that compelling, watching someone who just seems everything they're doing is designed to please another, like a man or whatever. But she's very uncomplicated for him.
Yeah. And I think, yes, I think he's attracted to Victoria F. I think there's an element of chase there.
Right. We don't know what kind of woman he likes. Do you feel like though?
A crier.
A crier. Well, then
in the real world, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if does he want to fix someone? Does he want to be taken care of? It's unclear amongst these women what he prefers, other than brunettes.
I think he wants to feel that love, and I think it's. But we're gonna find out next week, because we're gonna have Peter take a bunch of love tests.
Oh wow! So you're gonna get
We're gonna try to. That's gonna be our goal when we have Peter on, is to find out what are Peter's love languages, what's his personality, who is he really attracted to, so that we can accurately figure out who we might pick. Because I'm really enjoying the fact that all these guesses are sincerely spoiler free, and I truly
you're unspoiled.
No one knows. I have no idea.
Only Robert Mills, he was on. Yeah. He knew.
I really don't know.
Wait, no one knows? Has this season not been spoiled?
Not been spoiled.
I truly don't know.
Wait, really?
This is the first time in a long time.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I avoid spoilers every year.
And it's hard for me to, like, I try to, and then someone will just like tell me.
Yeah, but this season no one knows.
So I don't really know.
Wow.
I have no idea.
Do you agree with my top three?
Who is your top three?
Hannah Ann, am I leaving anyone? I think it was Hannah Ann, Victoria, and Madison.
My top two are Hannah Ann and Madison.
Yeah. That is young.
I can see Victoria F. I think there's a physical attraction there. Kelsey, I can't figure out, because she went from crazy to, like, after Kelsey's one-on-one, I'm like, I think she's gonna win.
Nah.
I just, after that date, I just thought she really was.
She acquitted herself well on that date.
Same with like the Hannah Ann. Like, I was willing to kind of like, okay, early shenanigans don't really dictate too much.
Right.
They kind of just use what they have. And then she had such a strong one-on-one.
Yeah.
That I just thought there's no, like, okay, this is who Kelsey is. So I was thrown off by Kelsey. So I don't think Kelsey has what it takes to go to the end.
She's gonna be great in Paradise.
Oh, she'll be wonderful. On the beach.
She might be a real star.
Yeah.
Who else?
There's really no
I
one
guess.
else.
I know. I guess it has to. So, because like I would have maybe said Victoria Paul before.
Yeah. She's not his type though. I mean, I think we're starting to get a physical type emerging a little bit as well.
And what is that?
Brunette.
brunettes, but also like they all have big eyes. I don't know, that kind of young look. I don't know, just like a look. Madison just seems really young to me, not in terms of maturity, but in terms of like how she kind of presents.
Yeah.
She just seems like a college girl to me in every way. Like, and that's not an insult. She's 22. She should seem like a college
little
girl.
bit I know about, like, you know, from
Yeah.
the community is like, I mean, the basketball, she's literally grown up in a bubble.
Yeah.
She's the star of her town. She's always been the shining star. Very religious, tight-knit community, probably sheltered.
Listen to her Instagram bio. Love greatly, be a voice for the voiceless, and always stand up for what you believe in.
I'm
and then Bible verses.
100% convinced she's purchased several
that's a lot.
thousand
That's a lot of followers.
And that's a lot
Over
more than
500K
like anyone else, right?
She has so much more than everyone else, and
seems-
with the combination of these fan accounts that she has, and this, she seems way too aware of her.
You're not about it.
Her social profile.
She's not your fave.
I give her the benefit of the doubt because she's probably a really sweet, nice person, but
I liked her during the sports date. I like
she
it when her
seems-
bro side comes out.
From everything I'm hearing, she seems way too aware of her social profile, her number of followers. She's got caught commenting.
Right.
It's so easy to buy followers. And quite technically, if you're going to buy followers, a really smart time for her to do it when she's growing.
This is great. Look at that.
Exponentially.
That was great.
That was
like,
peak
how do you not
Tammy.
like Tammy? Like when you see something like that. Sorry for those who are. She's doing the pose in the Cosmo thing where she's
Bathing
making a
suit
funny
date.
face.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, is there a star this season? Is there like a girl, like a breakout? No, there's not. Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, do we really even need to cover the McKenna Tammy 2-on-1?
Let me see if anything interested me about it.
2-on-1.
I just wrote down funny lines from McKenna. You made me found my. She did say found. I wrote it down verbatim. I'm sorry that.
No, please.
You made me found my damn voice.
Rehearsed.
She got hit on the hashtags, which I thought was funny. I, as a sports fan, laughed every time Tammy said, "Trust the process." I wrote that down a few times. Oh, someone, I think it was Tammy, said, "I'm not the villain of the season," which I always enjoy when they, kind of break
kind of have that meta kind of
yeah,
moment.
I like that. I mean, I don't know. They're both. It's like neither you're gonna win. You both probably know that. I don't know if McKenna does. Actually, she was kind of delusional about it, but
I don't think Tammy will ever post a better photo on her Instagram.
It's so good.
I'm madly in love with myself, is what McKenna said after being cut.
Gross.
Were you surprised that Sydney was cut?
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
'cause that was just like
That was insane.
out of the blue.
I think that's the only, like, when we have Peter on, I want to have a conversation more
I hope
about
he tells
Peter.
us.
I don't like asking when I have an opportunity to interview like the Bachelor, the Bachelorette. I don't like asking them questions I'm really not able to get a totally honest answer from. But I will want to find out
Why he cut Sydney?
It was just weird. Again, at that point, someone who's had a one-on-one, like a Victoria Paul, there was a they allow there to be a conversation to explain why they're getting sent home.
Right.
Even if there's not much information shared, like Victoria Paul. Like, ultimately, Peter didn't really say anything other than like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. But
Yeah.
there was a breakup. Sydney goes from best kisser in the house.
Can't believe you said that.
Also great, like, just
Again.
too honest moment.
Yes, Peter, stop.
To just like, bye.
Yeah. And
Didn't
she
even-
kind of just took it too and left.
Yeah,
I thought she put up a little bit of a fight.
That
yeah.
all the way around was super weird. And
Something
then
happened.
no disrespect to Natasha. How is she still there?
She feels like the producer. I mean, but now we're in top 10.
Yeah, but like the producer pet of someone who's willing to commentate
Yeah.
and just be the narrator of the season, you'll buy yourself a couple weeks. But we're in
fully. Yeah.
we're top 6 now.
Top 6. Yeah.
Like, you don't get the top. She's at top 6 without a one-on-one.
I think she gets the next one. I think the preview.
She has to.
It looks like she's the next one.
And she's going to absolutely get sent home on that one-on-one.
I know. I mean, I'm interested in seeing her more though, because she's someone who's.
Oh,
kind
she
of
seems like a
intrigued
cool
me.
person. I'm not.
Yeah.
We're not criticizing.
No,
the
but yeah,
person,
the
but like,
Sydney. I think Yeah, I mean, he had also incredible. He was like, they were going out,
right?
Yeah,
If there's things going on with him and Natasha, we haven't been shown, and we've seen a bunch of him and Sydney, and then he sent Sydney home like it was Natasha.
He must have just not liked her.
Maybe he could tell she was mean.
No, I don't think so. I think he just didn't like her in a boring way.
Oh.
Like, I think they went on a one-on-one, and she, you know, told him her story. And
she has a lot of vocal fry that does get.
She talks really slowly. I think he thought she was really hot and wanted to make out a lot. She is very hot. And I think he probably just didn't like her. And honestly, didn't seem like she liked him that much based on the exit.
She also was just like, peace.
Yeah.
She was.
I don't know.
It was bizarrely way too comfortable.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, huh? What's going on?
Her purpose on the show, she kind of ran like, okay, the drama's over. All of my targets are gone.
Burned out fast.
I wonder if maybe next week will be more drama free. But we see a little clip of Kelly kind of talking shit about Victoria F.
Oh yeah, there seems to be something.
So I mean, there's definitely going to be drama, but I maybe they will start focusing more on love. I don't know.
We also didn't talk about Zaddy Harrison with his mustache.
I like that Chris seems to be inserting himself more in the past few seasons. I like that he's doing that. But yeah, I thought he did great. He seems to be hanging out with the cast a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic job, Chris.
Yeah, not too. He's kind of coasting right now.
Before we let go, do you, we know we talked about this a little bit. Any Bachelorette favorites? I don't think they have any.
You don't think there's anyone on this season?
I mean, all right. So Hannah Brown was unique in the fact she wasn't top 4.
Yeah.
So that was an outlier there. So it's certainly not impossible. If we've guessed our top 3.
Any of them
can't be.
Victoria F can go on, and then you can go on again.
I don't listen. Victoria F. I don't think. Again, we'll find out. Hopefully, Victoria F will get a chance to speak, and we all hope that it was a bad mistake on her part. But I don't think, based off of that alone, whether she's innocent or not, that they'll be able to have her be the Bachelorette after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she's like a fan favorite either. Separate from that, I'm not really getting that vibe.
Hannah Brown wasn't a fan favorite.
That's true. That's a good point.
I don't think Madison and Hannah, and to your point, are interesting enough.
Yeah.
You look at the history of the Bachelorette. They pick their Bachelorettes and Bachelors very different.
But Madison, she has all those basketball puns. They could do basketball themed everything.
Oh no, I don't think.
I would have thought Victoria P was a contender, but that before the edit turned on her.
Yeah, she certainly had the story, and if she would have been gone farther, I think if I had to pick from this group, I would probably say Victoria F. If I had to pick.
From this group, yeah.
I think they're going to strongly consider going outside this season. I mean,
so prior the first girl gone, Marissa. She'd be great.
Marissa, I don't.
Who was the last Bachelor? Was it Ari? No,
Colton.
Colton. So anyone from Colton's season, like a Tayshia, maybe
Demi.
I think they should pick Demi.
They won't. I think.
I mean, they'll probably pick Hannah again.
You think they will?
I think Hannah Brown's the odds-on favorite as we stand today.
You think she'd do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I think she should strongly consider not doing it.
Right. Yeah.
There's only one way to go when you're at the top.
Who else was on Colton? I mentioned
Kaylin. Oh yeah, Kaylin and Dean are too.
Yeah, it's not going to be Kaylin. Who else?
Why not Demi?
I think that'd be leaning into the influencer thing too hard. I think
Demi.
I think you
compared to who?
You have to sell America on the idea that this is a person who really wants to be married.
That's what
as much as I like her, I think I love her. Very clear. I think she's very funny. I like her 1,000 times better than all these women.
You don't buy.
I would not buy that she wants to get married.
Okay, fair.
And I think that's something probably a lot of people
Fair.
And that's fine.
watching. Which is
Yeah.
this is what
I don't want to get married.
like half these women should probably not get married. Okay.
So I'm trying to think. Colton season. I don't think there's any other
Katie, who just, she broke up with
Katie.
Oh yeah.
Bukowski.
Katie Emo
lovely
or whatever.
person, but no.
Tasha, Kaylin.
Oh yeah, Tasha.
He said no to Tasha.
I don't. I mean, why? Thinking objectively, why Tasha over? I guess anyone else.
People like her. That's all.
Yeah.
People are like she's nice
beautiful.
and not offensive, and she's beautiful, but I don't. There's not a compelling storyline there. I mean, you would. If I'm
Who else is
if I'm casting it, I pick Hannah over all the people
from a
you said.
television
From a
perspective?
television
Hannah
standpoint.
Brown season.
Like Hannah
Yeah.
Brown or Tasha.
Well, I mean, America wants to see Hannah Brown get her love story.
Correct.
There's a great deal of investment already. Okay, so we got the whole gang up.
Kirpa.
Cassie and Colton could always break up and.
They've outlasted. What
Your
about
expect-
Elise?
Who?
Elise.
I mean, yeah, I think she's a fine person, but again, if you
Pause.
if Hannah Brown's the barometer, now we're just getting into like, do you think she could do it kind of conversation? But like, if we're actually thinking who they could pick,
Yeah.
Elise versus Hannah Brown. Who?
I love Elise.
We're not talking about if we like them as people.
No,
I know.
I personally would love to watch a season with just, someone who was born before a certain year. But
I would like to see them get older too.
yeah, but I think you're right. I think Hannah, from a television perspective, does make the most sense.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
God, you know what I really miss? How she would stand up for herself.
Yeah.
Watching this season, like there's so many times these women are just running all over him, and he just bends. Like I just want everyone to be like, you know what? I'm the motherfucking Bachelor, and I don't like her.
I
so
know.
Deal with it.
I know, and he probably.
I want that so bad.
Yeah, but even when I was the Bachelor, I got criticism for. Nope, you're going home. Nope, you're going home. I was told by like the America at times that like I seemed like I wasn't like willing to give this a
He's
shot.
way too far.
I get that, but and I've said this on every recap is that the Bachelor can't do what Hannah did.
No,
they would
I
just be
know.
considered a dick.
But there's a somewhere in the middle.
He's suffering from a head injury, okay?
That's true.
I mean, there's a certain point. Like he is letting. We talked about how much these women are bullying each other. They're bullying him.
Totally.
I don't like watching that.
And they smell blood, and they're absolutely
Nightmare fuel.
gaslighting him and making him feel bad for his decisions. And
They're gaslighting the shit out of him.
Totally.
It's hard to watch. I pity
the
him.
only person Peter gaslit is Kelly, which made no sense. But hey,
Yeah, I don't know if that was
he's just
intentional.
confused.
I think he was just
I quite like.
out of sorts. Yeah. Our poor beautiful baby boy.
All right. Well, we've kept you long enough. This has been a lot of fun. You're a pro. This is. I think people are really going to enjoy this. So thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure. You'll have to come back for sure. I know the people will love it. So
Now that I know it's unspoiled, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I am that adds like a real
I'm really enjoying it. I really hope I don't
excitement.
find out because it's. I have
Don't
no
tell me.
idea. I don't know.
Don't ruin it for me.
You know as much as I do. Well, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking around this week. We did 4 episodes. It's been exhausting. I hope. Wow. We'll see you on Monday.
It sounded like a threat.